I just can't push all of those things to the side and those risks to the side just because I want to show off my kid. To me, it's just not worth it. Hey guys, it's Alicia here. If you are new to my channel, I post everything marriage, motherhood, and faith related. And today I'm doing a pretty serious sit-down video about the risks of posting your child online. To be honest, I used to think that people who didn't post their children online were overprotective, fearful, and irrational until I got pregnant and I decided to do some research for myself, and it led me down this rabbit hole that just kept getting deeper and deeper and deeper, and eventually led my husband and I to making the decision to not share our son's name or face online. My intention for filming this video is not to tell parents out there what to do and that if they don't do it my way, then they're wrong. I simply just want to provide the information that I've found and that has backed my decision and present it to parents out there so that you can hear the information and then go ahead and make whatever decision you believe is best for your family. And if that's not the same conclusion that I've come to, then no judgment over here. I just wanted to present the information so you can make an informed decision. Basically, all of the reasons that I have for not sharing my son's face or name online come under 7 umbrellas that I'm going to be talking about. The first one is the dangers of AI. AI can be a really great tool in the right circumstances, but the issue with it is that it is brand new, and so there are very little legal restrictions around it, and people can unfortunately use AI for very evil purposes. The biggest one, in my opinion, being using AI to create explicit images and even videos involving innocent individuals and even children's faces. For many years, people who were really talented at Photoshop and just video and photo editing used to take celebrity faces and put them in these explicit pornographic videos and photos, and it was really difficult for people to tell the difference whether this was actually a celebrity or a fake image. However, now you don't have to be skilled with Photoshop and video editing software to be able to do this. People are simply taking pictures not just of celebrities but of innocent children and individuals and creating explicit content simply using AI and just typing and telling the AI what images they want to create. The problem with these images is they look so realistic that it could easily ruin somebody's life, a false image like this getting out. And I just want to protect my son from any possibility of that happening to him, and especially being someone with a YouTube channel. I have a very small channel, but even then I know that there are people out there who I don't know who are watching my content, and I don't trust all of the people who watch my content. My husband and I have unfortunately had a lot of very racist comments, including death threats. I've made videos about that before if you want to go check those out. But putting my son online when I know some of the hate we've received and some of the threats we've received, it would just be heartbreaking for me if one of those people with ill intent took my innocent son's face and used it for those disgusting purposes. I don't even want to think about it, but we have to talk about it because as AI is just getting bigger and bigger and more intelligent, it is essential that we have boundaries around what we post so that it cannot be used against us. The second issue is one that I never really thought about until I started doing all of this research, and I found out that this is actually a really big problem, which is identity fraud. People taking information of individuals that has been posted online and committing identity fraud, whether that be faking a passport under this person's name, committing crimes under this person's identification. There's just like so many different ways that people commit this crime. According to the banking leader Barclays, 2/3 of identity fraud and financial scams by 2023 will be due to parents posting innocent information of their children online. This includes ultrasounds with your social insurance number on top, your child's birth date, your child's face, your child's full legal name, your child's location of birth. All of these things can be used in order to steal your child's identity. And the children of today are the ones who are most vulnerable to having their identity stolen by people who want to somehow have financial gain or commit crimes and get away with it. Because when my generation were young children, all of our personal information was not shared online to the masses. And if you post a photo on Facebook and then you go on Google Images and you type in your name, you can see photos from your personal Facebook account pop up on Google Images. What you post, even if you're just sharing it with your friends and family on Facebook, it is not secure. Once it is online, that information and those images do not belong to you. The third reason why my husband and I decided not to post our son online is because of the risk of kidnapping. I was listening to this podcast by these two moms, and I can't remember what the podcast was called. I was trying to find it so that I could reference them in this video by name, but I just couldn't find it. But back when I was doing research about posting my son online and trying to decide what my stance was going to be on it, I found this podcast. And the podcast doesn't have a crazy big following. I think it's like 10,000 people on Instagram follow these ladies. But one of the moms was saying that she flew to a different state and she was at a fair and she was standing in line with her little daughter who was 2 or 3 years old, and a lady came up to them and greeted her daughter by name. And in that moment, the mom realized, oh my goodness, people could so easily come up to my daughter, greet her by name, and my daughter would think, oh, this person knows my mom. And when I heard that story, it gave me chills, because I just have the thought of, imagine someone finding out where your child goes to school, showing up at your school and saying, hey, I'm here to pick up so-and-so. And then the kid comes out, they greet them by name and they say, I'm your mom's friend. And they know all this information, and it seems to the kid that they're proving that they really were sent by the mom, and then they just take the child. I just don't want any risk of that happening to my baby. The fourth reason we're not posting our son online, and why you should think twice about posting your child online as well, is the topic of bullying. Especially if you have some kind of social media following, the chances of getting a few hate comments here and there are pretty significant, even if it's just like a small little comment judging your child's name or your child's new haircut. If your child is a sensitive soul and they happen to see those comments, it can really affect their confidence and the way that they view themselves. And in this world that is already putting so much expectations on people for their outward appearance and just all facets basically of our lives, it's so important to nurture a child's confidence and to build them up before they go in to the big wide world. They're still so sensitive as children, and I just want my son to have a solid foundation of who he is, what his identity is, his confidence to be stable before he goes out into the world and has to face criticism and critiques. My next point that I wanted to discuss is that if your child is too young to understand social media, or maybe they're too young to even speak, like my son who's almost 3 months old, they cannot consent to posts of them being put online. When I was 2 or 3 years old, my parents organized this professional photo shoot of me sitting in this aluminum little bath bucket thing, and they're really cute photos, but in the photos I was topless. And when I was about 8 years old, I saw those photos for the first time, and I was just such a sensitive kid. I just bawled my eyes out, and I just felt so embarrassed that these photos had been taken of me in a bathtub when I was 2 years old. And I think most people can agree that that's pretty innocent, like your parents having a cute little photo shoot of you in a bathtub as a 2-year-old. Especially because those photos were kept in family albums and they weren't shared with other people. But imagine the embarrassment that I felt and how sensitive I was as a kid. If there was another kid who felt the same way as me, perhaps, but instead of those photos being kept in a family album, those photos were blasted all over the internet. And by the time they voiced that they were uncomfortable with them and it embarrassed them, their parents, even deleting it, it was too late because someone could have reposted the photo, saved the photo. It just makes it really sad for the kid who's not able to give consent to how they are presented online. This next point, I really hate even talking about it and thinking about it because it is so disgusting. But there are a lot of P words out there. I'm going to say P word so that I don't get demonetized. But there are a lot of P words out there who will take images of innocent, beautiful children and share them on dark places of the web and use them for disgusting, self-gratifying purposes. And I would just like to shield my son from that. I do still post photos of like a cute outfit that my son wears, but I'll crop his head out of the image. And a lot of people might argue, oh, well, they could technically still take the picture of like his body wearing the outfit and use that for disgusting purposes. However, I feel that if my son's face and name is not attached to the image and they have no idea who he is, they are far less likely to do something like that. And I also feel that it protects my son from those people because they could never track him down. The final point that I wanted to discuss is reinforcing bad habits. Our children are wired to follow in our footsteps. They watch us to learn how to talk. They watch us so they can learn how to walk. They copy everything that we do. And if our children see us sharing so much of our lives online and craving outward validation, you know, we post a meal and we want people to say, oh, that looks so good. We post a photo of our kids and we hope people will say, oh, your kids are so cute. You made the cutest kids. If we're constantly posting things like that and chasing outward validation, it shows our kids that they should do the same. When they grow up and are old enough to have a social media page, they might have a really hard time setting boundaries about what they want to put online and what they want to keep private because they've had modeled to them their whole life that we just post everything out there and we don't really think about the potential consequences and we just get all these likes and we get all of this outward validation, and without even knowing it, we've created a child who craves outward validation from the internet. And especially as a Christian mom, I want to teach my son that validation should only come from God. And at the end of the day, it's only what God thinks of you that matters. And what the internet thinks of you is none of your business. So those are the 7 reasons why my husband and I have decided not to share our child online. If you've watched this video and you still feel that it is in your child's best interest to post them online, you truly feel that that's best for your family, then keep doing it by all means. For me personally, I feel convicted that it's not in the best interest of my family. Has it always been easy? No. I have so many really cute videos and adorable photos of my son on my cell phone that I just wish I could post online and not have to worry about these P words and AI and all of these potential consequences, but I just can't push all of those things to the side and those risks to the side just because I want to show off my kid. To me, it's just not worth it. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, you guys. I know this was a pretty heavy video, so now go watch one of my funny videos. I'll put one up here or up here. I don't know what side it's going to be on, but go watch a funny video. Have a good laugh. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way through. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. I post videos every single week. Like I said in the beginning, everything marriage, motherhood, and faith related. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, then please subscribe and join us for the ride. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye.